Alright, so here we are at the front of the house. I'm making little wood strips that keep the windows closed permanently. So none of these windows are going to be operable, and they're not required to be either. This piece here was broken, so I'm just replacing the glass pane. I measured it before I removed the old broken one, and tad bit undersized. You'll see later I'm going to shim it up a little bit. Got the little glazer's points that hold the glass in place. Yeah, you can kind of see the gap there at the top. Alright, here's where I realize I need to shim it up. Kind of using my putty knife as a little pry bar. And then I stick a glazing point under there. Get it even around. And pretty much got it set into place now. And we're going to start caulking it in. I decided to use this caulking instead of window glazing because I had all of the old glazing removed and I'm starting from scratch. If I was just replacing some of the glazing, then I would probably use actual window glazing to match what's there so it's all uniform in one type of material. But since I had the option here, decided to go with the expedient method. You can see, I've got the camera sped up a little bit, but it's still quite a bit faster than glazing. Maybe if I glazed windows all the time, I'd be pretty darn fast at it. A professional could probably do it about as fast as I'm using the caulking gun. But I'm not a window glazer, so I decided to use this method. So you'll kind of notice my caulking gun. I have the tip cut perpendicular to the tube, I guess. See some people, they cut it at this weird angle, but I actually learned this from a buddy of mine who used to own a siding company. And it's actually pretty slick because you can change directions pretty easily when you cut the tip square like that. And if you hold it just right, you can it tools the caulk for you as you go. Once I learned that from him, I never went back to doing it any other way. It's the best way in my opinion, and you can minimally. You don't have to fiddle with the caulking afterwards very much, you know, if you don't want to. You'll see as I go, the caulk kind of pushes out in front, and then I know I've got enough in there, so I just put enough pressure to kind of have a bead going out in front of me, and gives you the visual cue, I guess, that you've got enough going out. And then I was able to square it off real quick, just pulling it. And, you know, I'm not even tooling it afterwards, really. So I'm pretty happy with doing things that way. Here's some pictures of the after. Very front of the house. Before painting. Here's a little bit of priming on the right side. And prime both sides.